response, having access to those logs is super critical.
Yeah, the pay to play security thing. I mean, there's the SSO tax, but when you're talking,
This episode is made possible by OIT VoIP. Find your best-in-class revenue generation for MSPs all over the world. Learn more via the link in the show notes.
good morning and welcome to the October 24th episode of MSP Dispatch, your source for news, community events, and commentary on the MSP channel. I'm Josh Hohbein, joined again by my co-host, Brandon Martinez. How are you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Thanks for being back. So, as usual, on the Thursday show, I go over what the national holidays are. And today there's only two, but they're very interesting. It is National Food Day, but furthermore, a certain cured meat took this a step closer and declared it National Bologna Day. I might pass on that and lose the bologna. But speaking of losing things, in my first story, Microsoft warns it lost some customer security logs for a month. In our story by Lawrence Abrams at Bleeping Computer, Microsoft recently revealed that a bug in its log collection service caused critical security logs to be lost from September 2nd to October 3rd, 2024. Microsoft required payment for advanced logging, which would have been crucial in detecting breaches, prompting the company to expand free logging features earlier this year. What are your thoughts on this?
It's been a hot topic, especially as you mentioned earlier, a year where there were a number of breaches where the answer from Microsoft was you should have paid us more for further log retention. But in this specific instance, I think a lot of people don't follow the same backup rules that they have for all of their other critical data for their logs. It's something that I think a lot of people don't consider until it's too late. And especially when you're doing data forensics and incident response, having access to those logs is super critical.
Yeah, the pay to play security thing. I mean, there's the SSO tax, but when you're talking about Microsoft, especially when we're going through, I mean, bringing up business email compromise, we've seen quite a bit. And when we have them, we do a CAPA, a corrective plan action with the client. You have to get a higher license with Microsoft, and it feels slimy that security is pay to play. And I understand some of the optional features being open to it, but if this is something that can prevent a lot of BECs, maybe it should be included in one of their other licensing or lower license tiers or some sort of bundle with that. So hopefully looking to see that. And as awesome as Microsoft is, I mean, if you put all your eggs in one basket, unfortunately, these things can happen. So have your redundancy with that. I don't know, is this something that affected you at all?
I don't recall having too many issues getting logs in the past. It's a fine balance as far as the licensing goes. Maybe there's a balance they can find there where, hey, if you're an SMB, if you're not storing gigabytes on gigabytes on gigabytes of logs and you don't need that much of retention, can you offer the same amount of detection services, but maybe with a shorter retention?
Well, we definitely know Microsoft is listening to this show, so this problem will be solved in the next week or so. But you know what won't be solved? AI, and I think your story here can help.
Yeah, the story is from Reuters. Former OpenAI technology chief Mira Murati to raise capital for new AI startup, say sources. So the former OpenAI CTO is reportedly raising over $100 million in venture capital for her new AI startup, which will develop AI products based on some proprietary models. It's unclear if she'll serve as the CEO. Her reputation as a key leader at OpenAI, where she led products like ChatGPT and DALL-E, positions her startup for some pretty significant attention. Prominent researcher Barrett Zoff, who left OpenAI with Murati in September, may also join the venture. Murati's departure follows some major governance changes at OpenAI, and her move mirrors a broader trend of former OpenAI executives, such as those at Anthropic, launching AI-focused startups. I've seen a lot of drama over at OpenAI. They started out as a nonprofit, and they still are a nonprofit company, to responsibly research AI and their models. And it seems like there's a lot of internal clash over there as far as if the nonprofit kind of altruistic human element of things are still being followed, or if it's turned into just another investment venture.
Yeah, it seems like if there's any turmoil at a AI company, it seems to be coming from OpenAI. I mean, there's ex-board members, and then it got sold, and then it got rebought, and then resold, and now this is happening. I mean, they were kind of the first big one to get out there with the chat GPT and kind of doing this. And now it seems like it's dissolving and the key stakeholders are going to different places and doing different things. It feels that it was almost inevitable, just kind of how the technology market works.
Right. I mean, you have two schools of thoughts over there. You have the people who are saying this is a very powerful technology that has the potential to do a whole lot of good, but potentially a whole lot of bad as well. Let's take it slow. Let's really investigate how these things that we're developing can impact humanity as a whole, for better or worse, and make sure that we fully understand this before we move forward with it.
Yeah, definitely agreed. But this is definitely something that will not go away. They'll continue to grow, and it's just interesting to see. Let's see what we got. Community events where you could potentially bump into other peers in the MSP community. In our community events, we have an event going on right now. We have Producers Club, which is an in-person event happening today and tomorrow at Franklin, Tennessee. The end of October, the 28th and the 30th, we have DattoCon 2024 in Miami Beach, Florida. And we have IT Nation Connect, an in-person event in Orlando, Florida, from November 6th to November 8th. All right, Brandon, any last things you want to say or plug here?
Yeah, hopefully I will get to see everyone at IT Nation Connect, and I will be on the Tech Bar with Alden Wilson on the 31st of October, which is Halloween. We'll be having a very fun-filled episode with plenty of costumes to show off, so hopefully we'll see you there.
Perfect. I mean, I'll be trick-or-treating with the kids, but I will definitely catch that episode after it records. I'm excited to see the shenanigans. Once again, we have definitely solved all the world's problems. We got you up to date on AI. We got you up to date on the Microsoft logging. Any last words for you today?
No, thanks for having me. Hopefully I can participate again in the future, and it's great being on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. And again, if you want to hang out with myself or Brandon, and go ahead and check out our Discord. That's where you can, pointing to my cat here, this is how you get to Discord, is you give Millie some scritches. But other than that, you could scan the QR code, which might be a little easier, and you can submit your news stories that you'd like to see us discuss, as well as please leave some comments in the YouTube below, and we will discuss them on the show. Again, thanks for coming on, and we will see you guys next time.
If you found this episode eye-opening, catch more MSP Dispatch at 10 a.m. throughout the week. Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.